Hey there guys, Chris here, the awkward finance guy. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how much taxes do I owe when I've been paid via 1099. So, a lot of people freak out when they're paid 1099 and a lot of companies are moving towards this because I feel like the future of paying subcontractors to do this instead of like W2ing them is super common. And people freak out because they're like, "Oh man, I've heard that I have to withhold all the taxes and I'm not paid taxes whatsoever. And at the end of the year, I have to pay taxes," and like freak out, right? So here's the deal. That's not entirely correct, but so let's dissect this a little bit. Being paid 1099 can be very good and it can be very bad. So if you're the type of person that just isn't very business like savvy and you don't want to research how to do your taxes properly, then this is probably going to be bad for you because like I said, being paid 10 via 1099 means that you have zero taxes taken out. And in some states, federal income tax and local state tax, you could pay upwards of like 37%, like here in Minnesota or so, and give or take where you're from, but that sucks, right? So everything you make, you're going to have to minus 40% right off the top, and sometimes that can be like extremely depressing and you're just like, so what you need to do here, my advice to you to save some money is step number 1. When you're being paid via 1099 and it's actually substantial amounts of money. If you were paid 1099, it's only like 2 grand or something, I would say just do that in QuickBooks and pay the taxes on it. But if you actually, this is a long-term thing you're going to be doing, I would say you're going to want to start doing your taxes as a small business. So this first step would be to open an LLC. And I mean, you don't necessarily need one, but what I would do is start doing your taxes as a small business and look into deductions, because how businesses do taxes is they use deductions to minus against your at the end of the year revenue. Because for example, if you made $100,000 via 1099, which is not tax whatsoever, what you want to do is start looking at things that can be deductions. Businesses are really good at this. If you're making substantial amounts of money, what I would advise you to do is actually hire a CPA or at least a tax person to help you do this at the end of tax year, because you can wind up paying a lot of money in taxes if you don't do this correctly. So, really common things to use as deductions is like, for example, I use my cell phone bill as a deduction. I use like the clothes I buy, miles that I drive, a car payment, vacations you go on. For example, if you're using essentially everything you use for your business can be a deduction that goes against the revenue. So, for example, if I made $100,000 via 1099 and I started doing all these deductions, like maybe my electric bill took off 5 grand, maybe this office space took off another $2,000. Maybe I drove 1,000,000 miles or 2,000 miles and it was $20,000 worth. They give you like 56 cents per mile. But this means you're going to have to start researching these deductions and what you can use and what you can't do. And this is where hiring a CPA really comes in handy, or a tax professional, because I've paid them a couple $100s and saved me thousands and thousands of dollars. So, and again, uh, if I'm being honest with you, I come out better being paid 1099 than I do W2, because if you do it correctly, you pay way less in taxes versus like the average W2 employee. So, to answer your question, how much taxes do I owe when I'm paid 1099? The answer is your federal income tax mixed with your state tax. But if you're doing it as a small business and you have a ton of deductions, like if you're buying, like, say, if you were an influencer like myself and you were buying cameras, you were going on vacations to do videos, all that stuff is deductions against what you made. So what you're doing is you're bringing the amount, your revenue down that you're taxed on. The idea is to bring it to close to zero. That's why businesses always have to try to make it seem like they made no money and with deductions, and that's how you save money on taxes. So to answer your question, how much do I pay in taxes? 1099. You either do it as a small business with deductions, or you pay the full amount of taxes. That's what the government wants you to do. I highly advise against it. Hopefully this video helped you. Let me know in the comments. Did you get paid a 1099 and you're kind of freaking out and you're doing some research and it's like, oh man, like what do I expect to pay? I totally understand, because I was in that same seat, and it can be really exhausting. For the first couple of years, I was paid 1099. I just paid the taxes on it. And then someone was like, "You're paying taxes on that? Like, that's idiotic." And then it was just like I lost thousands of dollars just from like being uneducated. It is what it is. But guys, hit me up in the comments and please consider subscribing because that's why I do these videos, trying to give back to you guys. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so that's my goal. Please let me know what's up and how you're doing on your 1099 income. I will see you in the next one.